Hello, welcome back. I'm Abhishek De Silva, an undergraduate of the JAM Institute for Advanced Technology. Hello, welcome back with the project name eShop, and today I'm going to program the user sign-up process, including the input validations. At first, let's have a brief discussion about the design of this sign-up form. Here I have used the label as first name and I have given an input field for that. I have given the last name and input field for that, and then the email and input field, and then password and input field, and then the mobile and gender. And here the validations are the server validate whether the values inserted by the user are valid. So here you can see the validations as here, please enter your first name. If we click on the sign up button without giving any information, without filling this form, this user message as please enter your first name. If we give our first name and last name and then we click on sign up form, then they tells us that please enter your email address. So we have to complete all this. That is the process of validation. And if we click on sign up again, then they are asking for a password. And if we give a password and then we click on sign up, then they are telling that the password must contain 5 to 20 characters. So let's give some more. And then they are telling us to give a mobile number. If I give and then sign up, they are telling that the mobile number must contain 10 characters. Here they are giving a message as registration was successful. And then let's take the coding of this, and here's the coding for the design of the sign up form. Here here's that div which is responsible for that displaying of these messages, and here's the first name and the input field for that, and I have given separate IDs for them to obtain the values. They inserted in these input fields, and then the last name and the input field with the separate ID named L name, and then the email and the ID named email, and the password with the ID password, and then the mobile with the ID mobile, and then the gender with the select tag, and I have given the ID name gender for this select tag, and I have used the PHP script here, and I have obtained the values from the table called gender in our database as the option values of this select tag. So for the button named sign up, I have called and function called sign up in the on click means when we click on the button, this function executes. This is the design of this sign up form, and let's move to the JavaScript code. Today I'm using the Ajax method for the process of sign up, and here is the function of sign up, and I have obtained the elements with the IDs as by giving document.getElement by ID name definite. I have told to obtain the element, catch the element which have the ID named fname, and I am storing that field in a variable called fname. Likewise, I am getting other fields as the lname and storing that field in another variable called in lname, and then the input field with the ID named email and storing that in a variable called email. Likewise, the password, mobile, and also gender. As I'm using Ajax method to send the information to our server side, I'm using post method here instead of the get method. If I describe a little about the get and post methods, get method binds the information to the URL and send to the server side. So as this information contains sensitive information like password, we are not able to send the information by binding the information to the URL. So we can use the post method instead of that. In the post method, we use a form to store these values and send them to the server side. In JavaScript, we are not able to create any forms, so instead of a form, we are using a new form data. It's similar to a form, and we are storing that form data in a variable called form, and then we append the values of these variables in the form as a name value pair. I'm getting the value of the variable called fname. Here's the variable fname which stores the input field name with the ID fname, and then I'm giving a name as f, as we are sending the information as a name value pair. Appending these values in the variable called form, and similarly I'm getting the value of the variable called L, and I'm giving the name as L, and I'm appending that information in the form, variable called form. Likewise, the email, password, mobile and gender, the values of these all elements by giving separate names and appending those information into the form. And then we are creating the new XML HTTP request, and I am storing that also in a variable called request. And then we are checking some information on this HTTP request. Here I'm checking about the changes of the state of this variable or of this request, and I'm triggering an anonymous function. Why do I use the anonymous function here? If I use a function with a name, it takes additional coding lines, so I'm using an anonymous function because it minimizes the number of coding lines it requires. Inside the anonymous function, I'm checking some conditions within the if condition. The condition that I'm checking is the request.ready state equals to 4. I'm checking whether the ready state of this request variable is equal to 4. There are some ready states in Ajax. If I describe a little about those ready states, here are the ready states. Here I'm checking whether the ready state equal to 4. The 4 means request finished and response is ready, and I'm checking the status of this request, whether the status equal to 200. It means okay. If these two conditions are succeeded, then the coding execute. I'm getting the response text sent by the server side and storing that in a variable called response, and then I'm checking some informations inside the if condition. The response sent by the server side is equal to the string value success. If so, getting the div with the id called message. Here I have given the id as the message, and then I have get the element by the id message, and I have in HTML to the registration successful. What we have got here, I have again got the element with the id message, and I have given the several class names as alert and alert success, and then I have obtained the element with the id message div, and there too I have given some class names as dblock, as I have given the dnone class here, and I have make it display block the response equal to success. If the response is not equal to success, then the else executes. I have again obtained the element with the id named message, and I have in HTML to it the response we get, and then we have to give the method and the file we are expecting to send this information. We are using the request.open, and then we are giving the method we use the post method here, and then the file we send the information. I'm sending the information to the signup process.php file, and I'm giving the value as true here to 3%. Here I'm using the Ajax method, and then at last I'm sending the request with the form we have created. And then let's move to the signup process.php file. In this PHP file, I have included at the very beginning, I have included the connection.php, which includes the connection code with our database, and then I have obtained the values and by JavaScript through Ajax. The post method as here the first name is sent by the name f, so I'm getting the value as f here, and I'm storing that in a variable called fname. Likewise, we obtain the value with the name l, with which comes through the post method, and storing that in a variable called lname, and then the email and storing that in a variable called email. Likewise, the password, mobile and gender, and then the validation part. In this I'm using the if condition and if and else if. We call this as a if else if ladder. I'm checking whether the if name or the first name is empty. If the first name is empty, or a message, please enter your first. What we got at first when we click on sign up without filling the form, and then it comes to the else if the first name has filled, then it comes to the else if, and then here it checks whether the f name str length. Str length means the length of the string length of the f name is greater than 50. It checks whether the length of the f name greater than 50. If so, it displays a message as first name must contain lower than 50 characters. If the length of the first name is not greater than 50, then it comes to the next else if condition. We check its name is empty. That means the first name is okay, and then we are checking about the last name. If the last name field is empty, we display a message called message like please enter your last name. As in the first name validation, we are checking again the length greater than 50. We are using 50 here as we have got the we have set the length of the first name and last name as 50. The last name is greater than 50. This display a message as the last name must contain lower than 50 characters, and if the last name is also okay, and then it comes to the next else if condition, checks whether the mail field is empty. If the mail field is empty, it displays a message as please enter your email address. If the email address have given, and then it comes to the next else if condition, there too checks whether the length of the email is greater than 100. So message is displayed as email address must contain lower than 100 characters. If the email contains lower than 100 characters, then it comes to the next else if condition. It checks whether the format of this email address, here it checks if the format is not equal to the format we have given. Here's the format we have given, filter validate email, that is the format. We are checking the format from the filter var function. Inside that we are giving the variable or that we want to check about the format, and then we are giving the format here. We are checking if the email is not in the right format, then a message is displayed as the invalid email. If the email also in the right format, then it comes to the next else if condition. There checks whether the password field is empty, and if so, they are displaying a message as please enter your password. And if the password field is not empty, then it comes to the next else if condition, and then there check whether the length of the value of the password is less than 5, or the length of the password is greater than 20. So then display a message as password must contain 5 to 20 characters. If the password contains characters greater than 5 and less than 20, then it's okay. And then it comes to the next else if condition, and there it checks whether the mobile field is empty, and if so, display a message as please enter your mobile number. And if this mobile field is not empty, then it comes to next else if condition, where checks the length of the mobile field. Here we check the length of the mobile field is not equal to 10. Then we are displaying a message as mobile number must contain 10 characters, and if the mobile contains 10 characters, then we come to the next else if condition, and there we check the format of this phone number, and we are checking if not this format is equal to the mobile. In a preg match function here, and we are giving the format. We are checking the 07 comes at the very beginning of every phone number in Sri Lanka, so we are using 07, and then we can have several numbers as 070, 071, 072 likewise. So we are giving those possible numbers here inside the square brackets. Checking the next numbers as 0 to 9, it can contain numbers from 0 to 9, and it must contain 7 characters. Then they are display a message as invalid mobile number. If all these conditions are okay, then it comes to the else. Because the process we are doing in the sign up part, we have called the function named search, which we have created in the connection.php file, and I am giving query here as to select all from user table where email equal to the email we have got, and or the mobile equal to the mobile we have got. We are checking the number of rows in it and storing number of rows in a variable called n, and then inside the if condition, I'm checking whether the n is greater than 0. If so, display a message as user with the same email address or same mobile number already exists. If not, if then our process continue. Here date time function here, I'm getting date time and storing that in a variable called d, and I'm getting a new date time zone as Asia Colombo, and storing that also in a variable called TZ, and I'm saying that this time zone to the new date time which is stored in the variable called D, and then I'm giving the format which the date must set as the year, month, date and hours, minutes and seconds by the format function, and storing that in a variable called date. I have used a column name join date in the user table, and then I'm calling the function called IUD, and here's the query which execute, inserting the values to user table, first name, name, email, password, mobile, join date, gender ID, status ID. Those are the columns that I'm expecting to store the values, and given the values as the first name we obtained, and the last name, and the email, and then the password, mobile, date, and the gender. And then we are giving the status as 1. We are giving the active status to this user, and then we are sending a response as success. If the response we get is equal to success, then the message called registration successful is displayed. This is process of sign up and the validation part of the sign up form. So in the next video I'm going to discuss about the program of the user sign in process, and goodbye for now.